What are you doing?
We were supposed to yesterday.
Hi guys, welcome.
Good morning.
Hey, thanks, Ron.
Yeah, he's paying attention. He's working.
Brian and Janelle Overtime. Did you download the podcast yet?
Hello, what are you waiting for? And then we're waiting for your ratings. I'm waiting for your ratings. Mm-hmm. You know, that's like love.
You should have heard her earlier today. She's like, what are they doing? They listen to the show. They can't rate our podcast.
All these people, it's so easy. Just like star, 5-star, you know?
And then man, Brian is so interesting.
No. Write that. Write
Period.
Something.
Yeah.
Help. Yeah, I don't care. Write that.
Right, yeah. But today for overtime, we have a fun topic where a groom-to-be posted his relational conflict on the site Reddit, and we are going to bring it to you. Yeah,
He's looking for help.
Because they've reached an impasse in their relationship about money. You and Lynn ever fight about money?
Surprise. Yeah, that's like the topic.
Yeah,
I'm a spender, he's a saver, he's mature, I'm not. When it comes to money.
No, like one time we got a decent sized gift from a relative. We were driving home and Sarah was like, this is so exciting, now I can just put all of this in savings.
Oh!
I was like personally offended. I said, we can't have
Sarah's the best, man.
I was like, well, we can't take out a little bit of this?
Hello.
Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
And by a little bit, you mean like half, 2/3 of it?
Even a quarter of it, Ron. I mean, come on, no fun in this family?
Hello,
or what?
yeah, thank you.
It's exciting.
We can die tomorrow. That's what I would be. Life is short, dude. Like.
Yeah, you're not going to take that to heaven, Len.
Thank you.
$1,000. Look at us agreeing.
Oh my gosh.
But okay, so here's what he said.
Surprised. Go ahead.
The groom has a dog. It was very sick. Sick dog. Not sick as a dog, him.
No,
it's sick.
Dog, yeah.
The vet found a malignant tumor. Had to be removed to save Doggie. I love doggies. She hates doggies.
Hates? I got 2 dogs.
You don't like them.
If I get a bill like that, we would have a family meeting.
Oh.
The cost, you see where the conflict comes in. The cost to remove this tumor to save Doggie, $5,000.
Wow.
5 G's.
Before
right?
a
G's?
wedding. Oh, Brian,
That sounds right.
5,000 clams. what do we say? Smackers. I don't know what that is. The groom-to-be writes, quote, I paid for the surgery out of my own savings. This is important. My fiance and I have separate finances, and my savings are exactly 5 times what she has saved up. When she found out how much the surgery cost, she went ballistic that I paid for the surgery without asking her whether we're planning a wedding. And so she says that she will have to downsize her wedding to compensate.
That's crazy.
And that my dog is already too old for the money, and the money wouldn't go far. The dog is 10 years old. The groom says it's caused a rift, quote, in a previously amazing relationship. Oh. He said, quote, my dog is my dog and he's a member of my family.
Oh.
And then he says that his future wife won't speak to him, and he refuses to grovel as a matter of principle and self-respect. Oh, he's not married yet, is he, Ron?
No, not those words.
What is your advice for the groom?
$1,000?
They're at an impasse.
That is crazy. Hello, Myrna. We love you, Myrna. Love you.
Shirley.
Michelle is here, and Steven, and Jennifer. Callie, you're always on time. Hi, Callie. Rachel, we haven't seen you in a while. And Mike and Rob. Thank you guys for liking us. It helps. Rebecca, Andrea, Christy, Paul. Some people coming in with their thoughts already. Go ahead.
And if Tamar shows up, she was at the Overcomer screening last night. We'll have to get excited if we see her name.
Yeah,
wow.
We saw her. Callie says those are some fighting words. Callie, what? Is she for or against? Are you for paying the bill?
Callie.
Or against paying the bill? Mike says, what will happen with disagreements when they're married? Listen, this is $5,000. I mean, I get it, but I don't blame her. You know, like, of course there's going to be some.
But listen,
come on.
They're just engaged. They aren't walking down the aisle yet.
It's not her money yet.
It's not her money yet. But
look at that face. Did you see?
No, you know why I don't agree with this? Because I had that attitude when you get engaged and he comes and gets you this big old rock. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. They were paying for it in the wedding, in the marriage. Do you see what I'm saying? So it is going to be all her business. Yeah. 5,000. That's crazy.
I feel like there's more issues than just
Myrna says, wow, this will be a good one. Get your
It will
popcorn,
be.
y'all. Get your popcorn.
Now, they all, just throw you a little curveball here. They are what we would call, my wife laughed at me for this acronym, but there's an acronym called DINK.
Yep.
Oh, you've heard of it.
Oh, yeah.
I've never
Double income, no kids. DINK. Sarah and I had a short time as DINKs.
Yeah,
we were
we
both
did.
working.
We did.
You were just freeloading.
I was chilling.
No kids, hanging out,
I was
going
going to school.
Yeah.
At Caribou Coffee doing my homework.
Yeah.
And so he's got all his savings. What's the big deal? They got no kids, not even married yet.
Michelle
They said
says,
doggies.
Janelle, it ain't all her business yet.
I mean,
Yet. That's the
Yeah.
problem. Yet.
It's not her business. They're not married yet.
I would
Nah,
say
dude.
this though, it will be cheaper than a car.
Yeah.
Cheaper
What
than
would
a
she
car.
need? You could spend $5,000 on
$5,000
flowers at a wedding. What is she? Flowers better than saving the life of a living creature?
That
Yeah.
dog could come out the next day and get hit by a car, and there goes your $5,000.
You
You
could
I
buy
didn't know the flowers are dying.
you could buy a veil of that
Oh
for
my
$5
God.
grand.
Not at my
You could buy
wedding.
pearls for
No,
your wedding
listen,
dress.
that's more expensive than my wedding was. So, but that was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Callie,
weddings only cost that's like the average.
Callie says, I'm a huge animal lover myself, but wow. Thank you, Callie. I would go ahead and pay for it. My now husband would say, no way, too much money.
Yeah.
Sheila says, keep your relationship issues off of social media.
Yeah.
Expenditures should be discussed and agreed to. And C, so she's going A, B, C, C. My husband and I love our dog, who is also 10 years old, but we would never shell out that kind of money for a pet. Thank you, Sheila. That's what Len says. Since she was the brave one and said it first, my baby loves dogs. And he has already told the kids, listen, if we get anything crazy like that, we are not spending that kind
But
of money.
see, right
The
now
older
it's a
kids,
different
the
story.
younger kids don't got to hear that.
I got 5 kids. You got 6 kids.
It's a lot of
We got a lot of
money,
expenses.
God.
But if you're in a situation where you got no kids,
Yeah.
You gotta buy a house, you gotta pay school loans, you gotta pay for your car.
but you understand that was not her argument. Her argument was she wants to use that $5 grand on the wedding.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And that's
Yeah.
what stuck out to me.
That's
It's
true.
like, unless she is using hyperbole here,
Go ahead.
but she says, I have to cut back, which means you already had been counting on using all of his money for your wedding.
Right.
Because it's not a part of the money. He's got 5 times what she had. So if he takes 5,000, that still leaves you with 20,000 of his money to spend on your wedding. But no, I got to cut back now because you wanted to keep that dog alive, which has been your companion for 10 years when I've
Right.
only been around for a couple.
And a wedding.
Oh! If I hope he does
That-
not
she
use
probably-
that kind of language.
It was probably spite. She was like, get that dog out of here. I want all your attention.
Did you hear what he just
She's
said?
selfish.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if your fiance says, I've had him for 10 years, you just got in the picture?
But she's new.
No.
Fido's been around for 10 years right by his side. Unconditional love.
Yeah.
Never given him the silent treatment like she is.
Adrian says he had it saved. He paid cash. They're not married yet. They need marriage
That's
counseling.
true.
They really need to come together on finances, communication, handling disagreements before they say I do. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Mike
Yes.
says this could get deep today. So
Yeah.
many angles.
So many. Yeah.
Rod, the dog provides daily attentiveness and it's still his money at this point in time. A wedding, memories only after that day.
Rod is a faithful, he's here every day. He knows.
Well, he knows. Myrna says she is focused on material things as her reason for not wanting him to save his pet.
Exactly.
Yeah, all finances is material
Okay, hold
things
on.
if that's the case.
Wedding,
No.
fleeting memory of the day. You remember
Right.
getting married, but like
Yeah.
the details of the day, fleeting memory. Living creature created by God.
You're talking to the wrong one. Krista says she's upset because it's cutting into her wedding fund. That's one day for a party versus keeping this dog alive. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's part of his family. Save the pup. Listen, y'all. If the dog has been with him 10
Krista,
years.
Krista.
All right. Let's just go here. If the dog has been with him 10 years, that means the dog is at least 10 years old.
Right.
That's
How
an
much more are you gonna
old dog.
Yeah.
Listen, your son is 16. He's been around for a long
Oh my gosh!
time.
That's
We're
an
gonna compare
old son.
dogs to like kids and forget that.
Okay.
Grandparents. I mean, you can't compare that to humans.
You've been married how long?
20 years.
All right. When's the last time you took out that wedding dress?
I actually let somebody use it and gave it away.
So what use is that?
What do you mean though? Like it's
You got a living
memory.
creature that's 10 years old that
No.
needs saving,
You
and
have
you just
to
basically
look-
threw away your dress.
No, we have to look at where. Thank you, Jennifer, PhD, by the way. She says I'm with Janelle. She says she's with Janelle. Michelle, wait. Somebody
Fair
says they're as a dog owner, Christy. As a dog owner, I am all for paying the bill. I had what is that, Brian? A 250. What is that?
It says, it's hard to say. I think she might mean 2,500.
That's
For
the thing.
saving my dog's life, and I didn't hesitate. She was worth it. He paid in cash, not credit. The dog is not a pet. It's a family
Did you
member.
pause there? You are the person. You don't even snuggle with your dogs. You don't do any of that with your dog.
My girls do. I am not, dude. I got 6 people to cuddle and make sure I'm snuggling with.
Family
7.
member. For you, it's a
It's a pet.
thing. It's like a goldfish.
It's like, oh my gosh.
My Louie and my Gunner, they're my babies.
So you would spend $5,000.
If I had 5,000, he's got the money. I don't have 5,000 now.
Right.
So it's irrelevant now in my life. And with
Oh,
the kids,
wow.
I could never prioritize the dog over the kids.
Oh, Callie says, what if they aren't able to have children and this could be their own child? No, dude.
Wow.
He is 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
10. Go use your $5,000 to buy another dog.
So once you're,
That sounds cool.
what's equivalent
Yeah.
to 10 in dog years? What is that?
A
70.
70, dude.
So you're like, what do
and
you do
for
is-
a big dog, that is old. Like, he should have been
So,
dead.
What should we do with 70-year-olds?
I'm saying they don't live long.
70-year-olds. Not
You
worth
know,
it
wow,
anymore?
we're going to compare them to humans, though? That is
That's a terrible
disturbing.
analogy. That's all right.
Rachel said, depending on the dog breed, you can have 6 or 8 more years with that dog.
That's right.
It has to be a
Rachel.
tiny dog.
Throwing down the facts.
It has to be a tiny dog.
Yeah, they don't tell us how big a dog it was.
Tracy says it is less about money and more about values and unspoken expectations.
She values material things. He values living creatures
She
created by
values
God.
memories.
Living
She
creatures.
values priorities. Like, babe, seriously, $5,000 on a dog that's old?
She
She's
devalues.
living in a material world, and she's a
a
material girl.
Oh, no.
That's her. In fact, she had to walk down the aisle to that song if that's what she's all about.
Rachel says she had a similar disagreement with her husband, and she says, because I undermined how much my husband's dog meant to him, even though my dog is a huge part of my life, and I would have done the same. This dog has been with him longer than her, through
Yep.
thick and thin, and she has to realize that. Although I think he at least should have told her when it happened, she needs to notice that this was so important to him. Weddings come and go. They don't come and go. They come, and they're gone. Weddings come and go.
Be nice to her. I know what she meant.
And
Rachel, you're
isn't,
fine.
I get it, Rachel. And isn't more important than your fluffy companion. Also, they need to have a discussion about how finances work between them before and after they tie the knot.
True.
It's a lot of money,
all that
dude.
stuff. But
It's
again,
a
I
lot.
think you and Len right now, Sarah and me right now, you and Dana right now, very different than almost married, 2 incomes. He's got the cash for it. Come on, shave off the flowers
No,
or
that's
something.
listen. If you're like within a year of getting married, we need to stop saying that it's like that day that it becomes your business.
Women are all about money.
No, like it's a discussion because
Wow.
it is going to impact. That's $5,000 less than your savings.
Hey.
Even if you don't put it in the money, that's $5,000.
If she liked it, she ought to put a ring on it.
What?
If she liked it, she should have put a ring.
Sing that one. Jennifer, thank you, Jennifer. She says, a dog does not compare to children or other people. When I had a dog, it was always a pet and never a part of our family. My mom wasn't a huge fan of animals, and my dad grew up on a farm.
I'm just kidding.
She's a doctor. You guys, it's Dr. Jennifer for you.
No.
Michelle says our dog is 16 and they have spent well over $5,000 on 3 surgeries for him, and he's doing great for his age, and we love him.
Yeah. So what do you say to Michael? You want to judge him?
Michael? Oh yeah, him.
Go ahead.
That's a
Live
family
on
decision.
Facebook.
No. What I would say to Michael is, if your family was fine with spending that kind of money, great.
Wow.
I spend the way I spend my money, other people could look and be like, oh my gosh, that's such a waste. Or even me staying at home. I give up a lot of money by giving away my career. But that's a family decision we made together. It's expensive, but we made it together. So obviously his fiance is not on one page. That's a lot of money to not have her agree to.
And again, if you're just tuning in, like my lovely wife Sarah,
Yeah.
name popped in there. There's a fight on Reddit between a groom-to-be and his soon-to-be wife. They haven't combined finances yet.
Yeah, Julie.
He spent $5,000 to take a tumor, have a tumor removed from his dog. She's super mad because she wanted to spend it on the wedding. And they are at an impasse. He says it's a huge rift in a previously amazing relationship. And nobody's commented yet on, I think, the real issue going on here that he's got to learn from. The only point I'll concede that he's doing wrong on this.
Was what?
The last line. He says his future wife won't speak to him because he refuses to grovel as a matter of principle and self-respect. Ron?
Why don't you? What?
I think it sounds to me like this is a no more engagement. This is a broken engagement.
Oh.
And these two will go their separate ways.
Wow.
But sometimes we grovel.
Yeah, you do. If you want her, you have to think long and hard about this. You know, this is how she's felt about your dog, and you love that dog. That's an important part of your life, and she's going to come in and diss on that and say that's not as important as my spending your money on the wedding. Think about, is this the woman that you want the rest of your life to be with?
Yeah.
And maybe if you love her that much and you're convinced I don't mind putting up with that kind of stuff, don't think I'm going to change her.
Yeah.
Because that may not happen.
Yeah.
And do you really want to invest the rest of your life with a material girl?
A material world. It's not about that. It's about priorities. Because
You're gonna
I'm
be
not a
like-
material girl, and I would be like, that's a lot of money. It's a pet. I think it's principle. Like, they
You
just
sure
don't
you're not a
agree.
material girl?
I am not a material girl. I would be working at NASA if I was a material girl, please.
Ron
But-
was hilarious here. He says, what is she, a bridezilla?
Oh, Bridezilla. That's a real thing. Were you a Bridezilla?
No. Please. Weddings weren't a big deal back then.
What? The show was popular back then when you got married. Bridezilla was a
no,
thing.
I was not, no. But I like what Michelle says. She says, I wonder how long they have known each other. Well, the reason I like that is because even if we're playing and stuff, but I love Len. And if I met him and he was just like all into his dog and we knew each other long enough, even though I'm not into the dog, I'm into Len. And it would hurt me to see him sacrifice his dog for me and for what I want. So I think that's an impact. Like, it's about sacrifice. It's about love. It's about, like, man, you love him. So
she's going to crush him.
It gives the $5,000 value to you in spite of you not being into the dog.
So basically, Ron and I are right then. Is that what you're saying?
No, Julie is. Julie says, I love animals, but they're animals. $5,000 is a lot for an animal. Sorry. And if they're engaged, I personally feel it should have been discussed. It's a lot,
It's not
right?
our money yet, though.
$5,000.
Given that it was tumors and not, like if the dog had been hit by a car or something, you have to act quick. You take it in, and they start racking up bills, and you're like, yeah, just do it. I could see that. The tumor is something that, well, I've got a few days. I can talk about this. I should discuss it with her. But then when she pulls out well, I was going to spend that, and now I got to cut my wedding back.
Yeah.
Then you say, okay, thank you for making it clear. See you later.
Yeah.
Don't let the screen door hit you where the good Lord split you. Because
And
I
we're
wouldn't put
agreeing-
up with that.
we're
One of my
agreeing-
favorite sayings, by the way.
We're agreeing that you could spend the $5,000 to remove the tumor and still have the same issue a few months from then, right?
You probably could, but note again that Callie's jumping on the bandwagon. A trend is happening right now. Bridezilla.
You think so?
She sounds like a bridezilla. How dare you spend all that money? Not a philosophical disagreement. She wanted to spend it on the wedding. It's not a philosophical question of whether animals are worth it. She wants to have all the money.
A lot of people love what Ron... Wow, Michelle says Ron nails it. Myrna says, thank you, Ron, for that wisdom. And Rachel says, Ron stating it perfectly. Ron for the... Yeah, Ron. Janice says, I agree with Ron. Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun,
Krista,
dun-dun-dun.
Ron is on point today. Man, Myrna, Ron,
Nice.
yes.
Wow.
That's
I feel like we
crazy.
may want to leave on a high note.
Yeah, really.
Ron won, so I think you want to concede defeat to Ron?
Yes, I did. Ron for president.
Yeah.
I'm not old enough. Seems like you've got to be at least 70 to run for president anymore.
Ron, can I have some sort of appointment in your cabinet that really doesn't have to do anything but sounds great?
Yeah.
Secretary of something.
Press
No.
secretary does too much work.
Yeah, way
so
too.
you
I don't
need
want that job.
Wow.
Secretary of talk.
So, yeah,
Just
So what would I
occasionally.
be? What would I be in your administration?
You could be all the other positions because you
Everything.
multitask.
I got nothing for you on that. Hey, family, we got to run. Don't forget, download the podcast. You can check out our conversations. There's 3 episodes available, brianandjanelle.org, or wherever you get your podcasts. Otherwise, share and like this particular Brian and Janelle Overtime.
Yep.
Go check out some old ones. Listen in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See
Hasta
you guys.
luego.
Bye.